In one of the cities, at a company, employees were working. A man and a woman were talking to each other. The employees looked at them, and one asked, "Hey, who is that woman?" Another replied, "That's Zhao, his girlfriend. It seems she came today to break up with him." One of the female employees said, "She's breaking up with him at the company headquarters? This woman is really bold." The woman, Zhao, his girlfriend, appeared and said, "I'll be brief. I can no longer live with a useless man like you." "Zhao," he asked her, "why?" She looked at him annoyed and said, "Your pathetic appearance disgusts me. At that time, I only condescended to be with you because I saw potential in you in the art of refinement, even though you didn't even enter a reputable refinement university. But at least you're the last descendant of a declining family of practitioners. Yet, count how many months we've been together. Your trivial lineage is still sleeping like the dead. I've completely wasted 3 months of my beautiful youth, and deprived myself of several immortal inheritances." Zhao He said, "What if I emptied my savings and gave you all those spirit stones and spiritual energy jewels?" She became annoyed and slammed the table, saying, "How dare you even mention that trash you gave me? The spiritual energy in it was so weak, it's negligible. Look at the earrings young Master Li gave me. They are overflowing with spiritual energy, warding off evil, protecting the body, and increasing beauty." "Zhao," he said to her, "don't misunderstand. What I mean is..." But she looked at him angrily. He asked her, "Can you return everything I gave you?" She became agitated and yelled at him, "He Shen, I curse you to remain a failure your whole life, and die a horrible death." After that, she decided to leave. But he told her, "If it's inconvenient to hand them over, you can also mail them." She replied, "In your dreams. Damn it, I'll throw them in the river before I return them to you." He asked her, "Which river? Be sure to tell me. It would be a shame to throw them away." The 2 female employees who were listening to the conversation said, "This person seems rather amusing." One of them said, "Stop staring. If you keep slacking off, the manager will suddenly appear." She hadn't finished her sentence when the manager appeared behind her, saying, "What are you doing? Have you finished this month's KPIs?" The manager of the refinement department, Zhang Qi, looked at Zhao He and said, "Am I paying you to come here and sleep?" The employee told the manager, his girlfriend left him. He's a little depressed now. He'll be back to normal soon. During the lunch break, Zhao, he was on the rooftop, lost in thought. When the manager approached him, the manager said to him, "You're not in a good mood. Do you want a relaxing drink?" Zhao, he thought to himself, "This old man usually glares at me. Why does he suddenly seem kind today?" After finishing lunch, Zhao, he stood up and shouted, "I've eaten my food and drunk my drink. I've spent all my money, and I was even betrayed. I feel better after shouting. I didn't expect you, the usually cold manager, to actually care about employees." Suddenly, he felt dizzy and disoriented. He wondered, is there something strange in the drink? He suddenly fell to the ground, unconscious. The manager watched him fall to the ground. Sometime later, Zhao, he woke up, handcuffed to the wall. The manager came and said, "You're awake." Zhao, he asked the manager, "Is there a misunderstanding? What is this?" The manager said, "Did I get the wrong person I was looking for?" Zhao, he said to the manager, "I'm not interested in sadomasochism." Suddenly, the manager got angry at him and punched him in the face. The manager said, "Useless. Is this funny to you? You really don't know your place. Look down carefully." Zhao, he looked down and saw a giant dragon. The manager said, "Oh, heavenly dragon ruler, we have brought the sacrifice." Although this trivial person has not yet awakened, his body carries a spiritual root of an ancient lineage. He is certainly much tastier than those sheep and pigs we used to bring. The dragon gave him a pill and said, "Here is the true condensation pill I promised you." The manager took the pill and said, "It's huge this time. I will definitely achieve a major breakthrough." The dragon turned to Zhao He and said, "Oh, human, do you have any last words before you die?" Zhao, he said, "Your breath stinks. Can you brush your teeth before you eat me?" The dragon became annoyed and roared, "Impudent! I am the Lord of Clouds, ruler of the 9 heavens. bearer of thunder and rain, rider of the four seas. 3,000 years of silent refinement in the abyss. 80,000 years of wandering in the nine heavens. What a loss of prestige. How can I be angered by a mere trivial human? He pulled him towards his mouth and said, I used to swallow them in one bite, but today, I will grant you special treatment. I will bite you piece by piece, starting from your feet. Zhao, he screamed, I have athlete's foot. It will make your breath worse, and I'll be inside your mouth smelling my stinky feet and your bad breath at the same time. The smell will be like you woke up without brushing your teeth and ate your ex-girlfriend's stinky socks. The dragon yelled, silence, and began eating him piece by piece. Zhao, he cried out in pain. It hurts a little. The dragon swallowed him. A notification appeared. Forbidden lineage technique activated. Light, life, and death. This places a death mark on the enemy who kills you and a life mark on yourself. The enemy will receive the same pain and damage as you, as long as you do not die from the curse and your body can continue to revive. Dual annihilation. When this technique is used, both parties, under the curse of life and death, are annihilated together. Unless there is intervention from high-level immortal magic, there is no chance of either returning. This technique cannot be blocked or interrupted from outside. The story then shifts to a school. One of the teachers said, Student He Shen, what nonsense are you spouting? I told you to recite the 7 body-strengthening arts. What is this nonsense about life and curses? Did you take an overdose of body-strengthening medicine and start hallucinating? Go to the office. Someone said, Professor Yin, I heard your class received a transfer student. She replied, That's right. She continued, To enter your advanced class, his talent must be amazing. Otherwise, with your strict standards, you wouldn't even give him a second look. He said, That kid has some other talents. She said, Anyway, he won't even last until the first monthly exam. It would be foolish not to accept this wager. The story then returns to Zhao He, who says, What talent do I need for refinement? Right, resident of the heavens? Referring to the heavenly dragon, he says to himself, After that dragon killed me, I woke up in my bed. The spiritual root, which had been dormant for 20 years, suddenly awakened. He remembers his ex-girlfriend telling him, Even if you don't get into a reputable flown refinement university, you're not the last descendant of a declining family of practitioners. Zhao wonders, strange, why can't I stop thinking about that woman's words? While he's lost in thought, a student stands on the table in front of him and says, New transfer student, let me tell you the rules of this class. Every week, you must hand over at least 1 bottle of excellent grade body-strengthening pills. The students say, It's Cheng teaching the new transfer student again. It seems he's Zhao's former manager. A girl says, Now this is a scene worth watching. Zhao asks, Why should I give you these things? And why are you standing on my desk? Zhang retorts, Damn it. This is my territory. I'll stand on it if I want. Besides, I usually jump from here. Unlike weaklings like you, who only dare to use the stairs. He goes to the window and says, If you don't deliver the goods before the end of class on Friday afternoon, I'll tie you to the light pole at the school entrance and publicly expose you. As he tries to jump from the top, Zhao pushes him off the balcony, causing him to fall to the ground, injured. Zhao exclaims, Oh, my God, his face hit the ground first. He's training in the 100-time polished steel technique. He won't die from falls like this. What a shame. If he had died, I would have advanced a rank in class. His classmates look at him from the window. He gets up from the ground and says, Don't leave after class. I'll break your legs. One of the students tells Zhao, You're in trouble. That Chang is a well-known bully in class. He's never been defeated. His family belongs to a powerful and influential academy refinement clan in this city. His body strengthening technique has reached an insane level. The last student who challenged him was destroyed to the point that his entire family was ruined. As they say, you can run, but you can't hide. A friendly reminder, after class, it's best to avoid Guji Alley, which is almost impossible to avoid on the way home, as they usually wait there to ambush. The story shifts to Zhang, someone asks him, "Boss, is it necessary for the three of us to deal with this annoying transfer student?" Another young man replies, "What do you know? That annoying guy is no different from any normal person. The boss can crush him with one hand, but doing it himself would be belittling himself. We should take care of it." Boss Jang says, "That little scoundrel is surely trembling with fear now, trying to find a way to avoid this alley. But it doesn't matter. I have men everywhere. He won't escape." One of the gang members says, "The boss thinks of everything." As he's speaking, Zhao arrives at the ambush spot in the alley. He says, "Who said I'd hide?" They say, "He's already entered the ambush himself." They tell him, "You know you can't escape, so you've decided to accept your death willingly, haven't you?" Zhang says, "This kid doesn't seem scared at all. What is he planning? Could he be one of those very rare types who hide their true strength and pretend to be weak to launch a surprise attack?" Zhao looks at them, his eyes burning with fire, and says, "What a bunch of cowards. You don't even dare to corner someone at the school gate, and instead, you choose a remote alley like this to ambush. Getting here was exhausting. Come on, hit me." One of the gang members gets annoyed by Zhao's words, approaches him, and says, "What the hell did you say? I'll kill you with my kicks." He kicks Zhao, sending him flying with the force of the kick into the wall, breaking it with his body. He looks at him lying on the ground, and says, "What? So weak?" He appeared with all this arrogance, and this is all he has. The boss says, "He was really a novice. I overthought it." The young man who kicked Zhao approaches him and says, "That kick was level 5 body strengthening. Your internal organs must be torn. You won't live long." Zhao says, "I didn't feel any pain. You call this level 5 body strengthening? Soft and weak, loser." The young man gets annoyed and says, "I'll kill you. I can't wait for you to stop breathing." The young man kicks Zhao and says, "I'll crush your head with kicks now." The young man kicks Zhao multiple times until he falls from the pain. Zhao says, "Now I'm legless. Damn it." As he's lying on the ground, blood flowing from him, a woman appears and says, "Found you." The boss thinks to himself, in the blink of an eye, "This woman appeared directly in front of me." She appeared suddenly. One of the young men tries to attack the woman. The boss says, "Wait, don't use a lethal technique here. It will destroy the entire area." He strikes her with the purple gold staff, death technique. The boss says, "This fool destroyed all the nearby residences. When the time comes, the old man at home will go completely crazy because of the consequences." After the dust and fog clear from the impact, the woman appears, completely unharmed.